Good morning. Welcome to Thoughts Can Change Your Life with me, Reverend Lee Wallach. We're here each and every day as we explore life. And today, what I wanted to touch on is the idea that we have in our mind set that life has to happen in a specific way. And if life doesn't happen in that specific way, we're upset, we're disappointed. We feel that life is cheating us. And what we don't understand is that our bogus expectation that we bought into, that life happens in a specific way, is what's causing us our problems. One of the things that I can recall so clearly when I was studying to be a minister, first to study to be a practitioner, then to be a minister, was that when you do your prayer work, you never, ever tell the universe, God, spirit, infinite intelligence, how to do anything. You tell the universe what it is you would like. And the universe knows infinite ways to make that happen. It knows how to do things in ways you and I cannot understand. But we love to think of ourselves as we're the grand orchestrators of everything, and we know the best way that this is going to happen. And I'll be honest with you, we don't. That's a hard thing for us to understand, but it just is. I'm getting a lesson of that in publishing my book. Because for whatever reason, Amazon keeps disliking whatever the cover dimensions are, the cover, all the technical aspects. It just keeps bouncing it every day. It's a new one. And so I know my marketer, Stacy, I know she's got to be as frustrated as I am because we just want it done. But sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Well, Ian, I'm glad you met Niranjan on a website called Medium. Whatever that website is. So I want to ask the question, what are you hung up on? What are you hung up on that it must happen the way that you've determined in order for you to be happy? It's a really good question. Because if you can let go of how things are going to happen and know that they are happening, it puts you in a completely different state of mind, a different framework from which you can experience life more fully. You can really get into the experience of life more fully. I know I expected, well, I'm pretty much through COVID. I've just got the final, little bit of coughing going on, but other than that, I'm in a good place. I know it takes time for the energy to come back. So I'm not pushing that. I'm not going to be pushing working out, trying to get back into buff shape right away because I don't have the energy. I accept what is, and then I move on. Yeah, the law of attraction. Everything is the law of attraction, Corey. Everything is. We just don't know how to use the law. We think the law of attraction is going to happen the way we want. It's going to happen just like this. Joanna says, how do you deal with frustration? When I'm not feeling well, not very good. Yeah, I've been frustrated a lot the last couple of weeks. And then I just come back and I go back into meditation, Joanna. I keep meditating over and over again to get my ego out of my way, causing me to feel. Because what is frustration? It's just meeting and it's just not meeting an unrealistic expectation, isn't it? It means it's just not happening the way we want, when we want, how we want, and the time we want. Isn't that what frustration is? I guess the question you come back to is that when my sons were little babies and they try to walk and they'd fall, they'd walk and they'd fall, they walk and they fall, they walk and they fall, I didn't get frustrated because of that. I realized it's part of the learning process. Corey, I don't know if frustration means something doesn't work for you. I don't know. I guess I have to ask the question of Joanna, what does she mean by being frustrated? Everyone has a different definition. Everyone has different buttons. So I don't ever want to assume that I understand what someone else is going through. For me, I am, Moniqua, you're so funny. Moniqua says, I'm getting deja vu by watching this. I feel like I've seen this before. Maybe you have. Maybe this is the Twilight Zone. I know for me, frustration is I would love to get in the gym and push some big weight. Can't. Not time yet. You got to understand that. You got to understand that. And you also got to realize that a lot of frustration comes from where we're trying to interact with other people, but they have different agendas. So you may be frustrated that their agenda is not meeting your agenda. Well, their agenda is not supposed to meet your agenda. Ian says, we got COVID about the same time and we're getting it over at the same time. Bless you, my son. Because it's been a pain in the ass journey. It's a pain in the ass journey. It's like having the flu. And if you've had the flu, it's not fun. It's not a fun journey at all. Joanna says, I tested positive for COVID and had to cancel an appointment, an important treatment. When did you test positive, Joanna? A lot of people having different experiences. My wife had a very different experience with COVID than I just did. It's all very, very different. 1231, so you've had COVID for about 4 or 5 days and you had to cancel an important treatment. Well, you know what? It wasn't that friggin' important because you had to cancel it. Here's what's going to happen, Joanna. This too shall pass. It always does. But we have to embody that. And in my prior wedding ring, the one I lost a couple years back, I had engraved "This too shall pass" on the inside. And I had it engraved there to remind me that no matter what is going on in my life, whether it's joyful, happy, abundant, sad, depressing, whatever it is, it will pass. Everything does. Everything passes. The weirdest part is not smelling anything. I have perfect smell. I'll tell you what is a little funky, my taste. Things that normally would taste good don't taste good. I find that interesting. Intuitive says, Rev, is part of awakening finding who we really were as a child? I think it's possibly intuitive that we remember that as a child, we were already perfect. We were already as close to perfect as we could possibly get. And that the longer we're in the physical body, we're in the physical world, we get domesticated out of knowing our truth. My little granddaughter, last night we were on a FaceTime with her, And she loves building and sliding down things. She's a little acrobat. And my son Matthew's trying to be so beautifully a good parent, controlling. And she says, screw you. And I just watch how she's got this insubordinate nature about not complying with his control issues. Dad, she's being bad. She's not allowing me to control her. Let me take you back to when you were a kid. You hated to be controlled. Not gonna be controlled. Don't we all hate that? You bet. The worst thing in the world is to feel like someone's trying to control us, not giving us the chance to be ourselves. Well, gang, today is Agape Gathering Day. If you'd like to join me for a Zoom gathering, go to agapespiritualcenter.com, click in on a Zoom link there, and you can join me at one of our 3 gatherings today. We can have a face-to-face conversation. So with that, I'm going to say, hey, it's your life. What are you going to make of it? You have the power. You set your expectation. Use it wisely, my friends. Until tomorrow, aloha.